World line, wonder why you're trying to find
More money, more time.
to fix the lows, make it alright. It ain't easy going through this life.
And the by false light,
Feel it.
dead inside. But there's hope for us to be made right. Long as we can say within collectively today.
All we want, all we need, all we ever really wanted was you. All we ever really needed was you. You, love you. Ah.
That's the one I've been looking for right here.
We've been journeying in the wrong direction this whole time. We've been journeying outside of ourselves. Why?
Ralphdawise.
Been a long time on here, pushing out knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Maybe this is the year right here. This stuff is inside. You gotta do better collectively, right? This stuff is inside. You gotta do better collectively. The first thing is realizing that you are. That's the first step. Confront yourself. Realizing that you are energy. It's been a long time on here pushing out knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. They can't put negative notions on us. Think about it. Great things is happening, whether they want to believe it or not. Maybe this is the year right here. This is the year for it right here. Right? Yeah. There's something inside. You gotta do better collectively. There's something inside. You gotta do better collectively. One image of oneself should be greater than reality. Don't let it be great because you are
Ralphdawise.
energy.
I'm trying to tell y'all, man. We are so amazing as a whole, not singular. I mean, you good all by yourself, but together, man, we amazing. We are amazing. I seen it before. I seen it. Call it a previous life, call it a future life, call it whatever you want, but I seen it before. We are truly amazing in all that we do. In all that we do. There's so much more out there for us. We just have to understand it.
Atlas holding us down while keeping us high with the law. We reach for the sky.
How's everybody doing out there? Type something in the comment section. Let me know you're a real person. Find that thumbs up button. You might have to hit the 3 dots in the corner, but find that thumbs up button. With all the bot systems that's going on, I'm gonna need y'all to hit the thumbs up button or the thumbs down button. At least that way I know what I mean. Y'all hit that thumbs up button. Grand Rising, Namaste, Ashe, salutations. Man, I hope y'all doing great out there. Feeling great, doing great. Numbers don't stay when you're talking about this type of stuff. The numbers stick around when I'm roasting people, and numbers don't really stick around when I'm talking about that higher elevation stuff. Remember, this is what we see on the surface. This just the tip of the iceberg right here. This just the tip. This just the surface, right? But when you get down to these depths, look, love, like, look at the bottom. It says love and light of the one infinite, right? I just want y'all to see at the very bottom, it says love and light of the one infinite creator, right? It says escape samsara cycle rebirth, right? It says end to all suffering, right? It says the mysteries of the universal creation, right? All of this stuff is what we, speak of over here, right? You might not get it right now. I know if I get into the Hollywood occult rituals, I know you'll get it if I get into the Hollywood occult rituals and stuff like that. That's what they have you wrapped around right now. They have you trapped in the Hollywood occult rituals, Epstein, all of that stuff, because you don't even know, like, they had CNN mind control, right? Crisis actors. We see all of this stuff coming out right now. We see the dark web. We see all of this stuff happening right now, right? But here's what you don't see. You see all this stuff that you don't see at the bottom, the laws of attraction, collective consciousness. You see this? Collective consciousness, right? We see the group minds. You see that being exposed with YouTube every day, group minds, right? You see these echo chambers, right? You're noticing people that have empty awareness, right? Enlightenment. Some people have that, but all these things are coming out right now. All of this stuff is coming out right now. When I was speaking about consciousness and the collective, y'all thought it was a cult. I'm like, don't into this grander understanding of the depths of this. I was sitting here saying, the collective and the consciousness and all of that stuff. I guess a lot of y'all was confused with it, right? But a lot of this knowledge is coming out now. I think I was just too fast with it. I think I just started putting it out like I think I just started putting it out a lot faster, or broke it down a lot faster or something. Like maybe I understood it and other people didn't. Like now that I'm coming to a lot of realizations of this, I'm like, damn, man, I could be one of the only few that is woke of this knowledge. Like I could be one of the only few that is understanding of this knowledge. But I didn't think that before. I thought other people knew about this. I thought people hip to this. I thought people, I'm like, okay, Nicholas Tesla 369, those people gotta understand this, right? You know, Solar Warden, all of that stuff, breaking down, breakfast, whether it be, I thought into this stuff as well. The constellations. Why do we have 24 hours in a day? Why is it broken up into 12 hours a day, 12 hours a night, 12 you see, 12 you don't see? I thought other people was curious about this stuff too. I didn't realize like I was the only one intrigued by this stuff, the mysteries and the wonders of the world. Why a cow eats grass and then, grass grows within what it eats, like so on and so forth. I'm thinking, man, am I the only one? Right? But it's cool though.
Why do you deny me? Chose the light created for you just to hide it. Why obsessed about surviving? Fighting over creation made for all to thrive. When love speaks, is you listening? I wonder if you hear me. Love yourself, love yourself. Always is, always was, always, always complete, always in love is love. Always is, always, will always be just love. Always complete, always enough. Love is love. Mm. Was your heart ever my home? Yeah, sits on your throne. Stuck in it for how long? Your pride convinced the right is wrong. When I speak, you say you're listening. Do you ever hear me? Love is love, love is love. Always is, always was, will always be just love. Always complete, always enough. Love is love, love is love. Mm. Always is, always was, will always be just love. Always complete, always enough. Love is love.
No, I get it. It's the reason why people don't want to take in this knowledge.
Chaos sits on your throne.
It's a heavy burden.
Right is wrong. When I speak, you say you're listening. When will you ever hear me? Love is love, love is love. Always is, always was, will always be just enough. Always complete, always enough. Love is love, love is love. Always is, always was, will always be just love. Always complete, always enough. Love is love.
Listen, if you got a question for something that's up here, you got to type it in the comment section. If you want me to answer anything, you got to type it in the comment section, whatever you could see.
From TikTok to YouTube to Twitch to
I don't know which one y'all want to know about. Nobody typing nothing, so
Something it's blending to melting. Viral emptying, there's no substance.
I'm not gonna spotlight and just share that shit. Make it raise.
It should bring chosen ones. I was gonna change. Yeah, we built that you can't flip it. Vision TikTok, you push to get. We built that you can't flip it. Dip it. We can don't move us. We move the rhythm of truth in us.
You know, it's gonna sleep.
Now we number 8. One love in multiple forms. Vibrating by sharing norms. Creating waves for by elevating frequency. Yeah, with it, we built that you can't flip it. From TikTok, we can switch the kid. Yeah, with it, we built that you can't flip it. Dip it, you can't flip it. Great.
Whoa. Having a lecture.
Yeah, with it, we built it. You can't flip it.
these people don't understand. Stop trying to hog the spotlight and share that shit.
Mhm.
We built this. To the moon. To the moon, Alice.
Man, if you only knew the depths of this planet. And I say that because you have to understand, like, there's literally levels to this. But one will have to expand their mind, you know, past a certain point. And I get it. That's tough. That's hard to do. Especially like if you're caught up in, this carnal world, if you caught up in, bills, so on and so forth. Like, yeah, that's enough right there. So, knowing more than that right there, I guess, like, yeah, it could drive somebody crazy, you know. But woe is to he who can take all of that in and still push forward with it. You know what I mean? Like, this world is smaller than meets the eye. We might see a certain thing, but nah, it's so much more than that. You know, so much more than that. But we try to come into a grander understanding for it. We have this notion for what is, always was, and always will be. But every time this knowledge and stuff start coming in, these beings start coming back into this dimension to help us. Hello, hello. Appreciate you for stopping through. Every time these beings, come back into this plane to help us, right? We mess it up. We show them that we don't want it. We don't need the help. We don't. But, if mankind collectively, if we humbled ourselves, they'll show us more. If we humbled ourselves, they will show us more. But we got to stop all the unaliving, all of the, we got to get back to the natural process of the vessel. That comes with discipline of the flesh. A lot of people got greed and gluttony in their eyes, so therefore they don't want to have that discipline of the flesh. But if we was to establish discipline of the flesh, and it's probably going to take, some more fighting, some stuff probably has to take place before we can get to that level. But, once the smoke clear, we'll be able to grow in a new light, and they will come back to help us, you know? Well, the ones that are left. That's why right now you don't got it. You just gotta be at peace right now. You know what I mean? Right now, all you gotta do is be at peace. I promise you. Just be at peace. Go out there, try to be at peace with yourself. I mean, inside, try to be at peace with yourself, and on the outside, try to be at peace with other people. You spy and lie, you boast, always gotta do the most behind my back. The knowledge is coming. Faced with all the knowledge is coming. You don't remember all of that. Listen. Showing off like you're in the pageant, bragging on a bunch of status. They know there's a real dark method to your madness. All the hate you grew inside, tragic. From a monster to the victim, play the role so well dramatic. Is that it? Moving on. Now it's time for me to work. Wave my magic wand. You're no match for me or the power of my tongue. Let me show you how it's done. I can to terrorize you for fun. Demon be gone. You're enough. Can't hide it when it shows. Tied down by your traumas. I won't let you go. You're a narcissist. A reaction is your game. I'll just give you nothing. Watch you lose at your own pain. If you're a narcissist, it's always your way. It's your way. And I try to say decline. You want my smile. Try to bring me down, try to take me out, but you can't steal my shine. You always want to start a fight. No rules. You lose no clue. Right. Tell me why you so tight. If it's all for show, gotta let you go. Dwell on it your whole life. I don't want your static, nothing but a drama addict. Those repeated cycles, I have studied your habits, but the way you sleep with me, you savage. Try to pawn your pain on me. Return to sender with that package. Moving on. Now it's time for me to work. Wave my magic wand. Through the dirt, teach you right from wrong. Run you like a marathon. Once that chance comes the karma, you're done. Demon be gone. Now listen. Once we get into this knowledge, ain't no turning back. All right. Once we start getting, all right. Once this door, open, you can't go back. All right. You're gonna learn some stuff, but don't listen. Don't try to blame me. Okay. Once I really start pushing this knowledge out there, don't try to blame me. Just catch up. Just catch up. All right, because it's going to happen fast. It's going to start happening fast within your mind. You know what I mean? You're going to have like a yearning for it. You know, it's going to happen fast in your mind. You're going to have like a yearning for it. You know? So I'm telling y'all right now, it's happening a lot faster than you think. A lot faster than you think. The universe is trying to reveal so much to us. It's like forcing this knowledge down here. It's forcing it down here. And all of them know. Angelic beings are here. They all know. They all everybody wrote about a time to come. In the past, they were writing about times to come. Now we might have thought, okay, you know, they're writing about this, they're writing about that. Nah, they was writing about times to come, you know, future endeavors. Even the biblical text might not have been about the past. Might really been about one man's journey on this earth and how he knew his future reincarnations and he wrote about them. Wrote about them. You know, he told about all of the that he would come in, and then somebody down here decided that they can do the same thing. Somebody down here was like, well, if he can do it, we can do it. But wasn't he teaching that? Or maybe somebody down here decided no one man should have all that power. Huh? Maybe that's what they decided. Maybe they decided, you know what? Nah, one man shouldn't have all this power. This is too much. Right? Something like that. Something happened. Something took place. Right? No? Nothing like that happened? Maybe. Maybe oh, look at that. 444 on the numbers. 444 on the numbers. Let's go. Mm, that's nice. 444. Hey, listen. I'll take it. Listen, I'll take it. All right, so sometimes I like to just look up the old maps, like some of the old maps. This one right here, I found in a book at a museum. Yeah, angelic numbers 444. So I was at this place and I found this book that had pictures of like the old maps in it, how they drew this plane to be, so on and so forth. So it was a bunch of them, you know? It was a bunch of them. But I think they were drawing like inner Earth or something, you know? Places that we haven't even, that they hide from us, you know? But like I say, who's to say? Nobody really thought that, the Mayans depicted this right here. The Mayans drew us this. Look at this. Look right here. That's what the Mayans drew. Our solar system. They drew the symbols around it. They drew the sun. They showed us our solar system. and they showed us moving to the golden gate. The silver cord will be severed. Even the biblical text says that the silver cord will be severed. We're going to move into a golden gate. So we're moving into 5D. The Mayans knew that in the 13th lunar cycle, we were going to move into the solar gate. The book of Revelations tells us that the world will change as we know it, right? Aquarius sky and the attention that rules this air, so on and so forth, right? So they showed us this. They've been showed us this. A lot of this stuff has been told to us already. Got the knowledge, blocked off the knowledge, or just didn't accept it. It was already told to us. Hold on, let me show you the Mayans calendar. Sorry, I messed this up. Right here, see? This is our solar system right here. This, the constellations that surround our solar system, because they had an expanded conscious, so therefore they knew about the 24 or the 48 or the 88. Some of them might have knew about the 88 constellations that was around us, right? But we got trapped in the 12. You know, it was 24 on this side, 24 on that side, and came together. And when those 12 with the 12, 12 from this side, 12 from that side, we in the middle of that 12, right? We in the middle of that. So we get 12 from this side, 12 from that side. 12 you see, 12 you don't see, right? But the Mayans showed us this, and then they showed us and gave us a count of the 13th lunar cycle. So they was telling us that the 13th lunar cycle, right? Boom. But look what happens. Once it goes this way, count 13, then the flow was going to change. Currency would change, right? So we see that our planet is now moving in a different direction now. Maybe we looked at it as a calendar. It was a map of the galaxy, right? The zodiac signs, us in the middle, the sun in the middle, the rotation of it, right? 13 zodiac signs, right? The Mayans showed us, look, it's the same thing. Sun in the middle, 13 zodiac signs, but there's constellations around that. And now we're going to start moving towards that, right? Which is the Golden Gate. Back to the galactic center. So now we're going to see more of our galaxy. Our galaxy is going to open up to us and show us more of it, right? This is where the star seeds, star families, and indigos and those we awaken at this time. We're awakened at this time. So therefore, we have the air. If you don't know, it is the Aquarius sky. The planet that rules the Aquarius sky is Uranus. Saturn ruled the time of Pisces, right? But now Uranus is the ruling planet. Uranus is known as the heavenly planet. Live of Uranus, right? On the masculine side, it is the humble, you know, uh heavenly whatever, and then on the feminine side, it is right. We see a lot of that right now. You might not recognize it, but that's what time we're in, right? A lot of this knowledge is free. Even if you go look at some of the oldest maps, you see a polar Arctic circle around us. Look at some of the oldest maps. They'll show you. You know, you could look this up yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. All the stuff that I'm telling you, you can go look up yourself. You don't have to believe nothing that I'm telling you. I promise you, you don't. You can go look all this up yourself. You don't have to take my word for anything that you see on this screen. Everything you can go look up for yourself. Now, for those who like to stay in ignorance, of course, those are, the most comical because what they're saying to you is, how dare you try to expand your mind when I'm not trying to expand mine, right? So they're actually mad that you want to expand your mind, that you believe in greater things, right? And they'll try to paint it like, oh, oh, no, like you got imagination, right? In order to get to the, heavens, one must be in a childlike mind, not a childlike uh state of being. And if you know, Uranus is the childlike persona. So you have a Uranus mind, and then after the 40-year marker, you go into your Saturn mind. So you'll go from your Uranus mind to your Saturn mind after the 40-year marker. And you can look all this up. I'm not telling you nothing that you can't look up. That's the beauty of this information, you know? And I'm giving you is universal. You can go look it up. Now you might find some pieces that I might not have focused on or something like that, but look this up and you'll be like, damn, he was right. The problem is people will just, make assumption or a notion of what they know is all they need to know. Therefore, the stuff that I'm talking about, they won't go look it up because in their world, they're telling themselves what they know is all they need to know. They don't need to know about the other, right? But see, my problem was I wanted to reach people and give people understanding of this because I was so conflicted when I came about this knowledge, right? So I wanted to reach people. So my thing, I got a chance to speak to the universe. I'm asking the universe, like, give me ability to go back and explain it to other people. A lot of people are getting lost because the knowledge is lost. So I keep asking for the ability to come back and give people a higher understanding. So it's just like the universe is like, okay, so the universe started sending me multiple different things that I can study, Zachariah Stitch, so on and so forth, multiple different things that I can study in order to get a grander understanding, right? Had to formulate a form of articulating this to put it to the people to better give understanding for it, right? Because you're not going to get what's in somebody else's mind. That's not how the mind works. A lot of people be sitting there trying to give people a piece of their mind, and it's hard as hell. It's complicated to give people a piece of your mind on an intellectual level because so many people think carnal, because so many people are in their carnal. Give people that on an intellectual level.
Uh, yeah. Uh,
I'm trying to tell y'all, this knowledge is there. The question is, do you really want to, or really searching for it, right? Are we really trying to understand ourselves? Truly, are we really trying to understand ourselves? I don't think we are. A lot of people for something on the outside to explain what's already on the inside. There's a journey take place inside of a multitude. It should be. Something should have awakened inside a multitude of people and have awakened. That Kundalini energy, that serpent that is coiled at our root chakra, it should be able to move up now. It should be moving up, right? Some people have found a way to activate it. Some people understand it. Some people don't. Everything ain't for everybody, I guess, you know? But the only way you can find out is if you put that knowledge out there. If you trying to find the collective that understand it, then you have to put that knowledge out there. That is the fastest way for me to put this knowledge out there and say who else is learning in this magnitude? Who else is out there that is trying to understand this to this degree or level? Because that's the personas that I want to put myself around. That's the people that I want to learn and build with, because I want to understand this more, right? Or seeking those levels of understanding, I want to attract people that are interested in that too. Therefore, it can be different levels of, bouncing knowledge off each other, so on and so forth. I don't want to keep battling with, I don't, it's not even battling wits with people over here. This is arguments. These people are arguing. That's it. They don't have facts. They don't have merits. They don't know how to bite their tongue. They don't know how to control their own self. It's crazy that, when you sitting here, it's like they got all these insults, all of this stuff they want to say about you, right? Yet, when it comes to knowledge, wisdom, or any type of, you know, learning, they are not giving any of that. None of it. None of it. Jaguar Wright, with all her learnings of the Baphomet and everything, and she still can't teach a class or do anything that is, you know, beneficial to the future generations. It, I don't get it. Everybody got an opportunity to be better. Everybody got an opportunity to be what they want to be or what they think this world needs in order to be better. But none of them is using that opportunity. And it doesn't take billions of dollars. It doesn't take, it just takes all of us collectively doing, what we're supposed to do to look out for the next person or to care, show this, show that. Like, we all should be responsible for one another. That's the it takes a village mindset. But now we're out of the it takes a village mindset and more so in a YOLO, or a, survival of the fittest, every man for themselves. That's why people keep speaking of like iron sharpening iron. Like, no, bashing someone, tearing them down, so on and so forth is not iron sharpening iron. I never understood that my whole life. Like when friends and stuff used to be like, "Oh yeah, da 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 da," nah, 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 we good, we good. Joking is when we both laughing about it, so on and so forth. But when you trying to tear somebody down, so see, I'm with some jokes, y'all know. But when y'all trying to do the whole, you know, assassination of characters and all of that stuff, yeah, count me out. You know, because like I think the world is already full of that. The world is already full of those who are, trying to make a way off of the next person's hurt, pain, or crisis. You know what I mean? Exploiting has become the number one payout, especially for streamers and stuff, right? So my thing is, are we going to try to do better as a collective? Are we moving towards, that collective space where we're like, you know what, we should try to do better, for the sake of each other. I can't want better for myself and not want better for someone else, because the idea of wanting better for self comes with wanting better for someone. Those two things go together, especially the laws of attraction. So if you want to attract better for yourself, then you got to put the intentions on wanting, better for other people. You got to put those intent out there that you want better for people, you know? That's the method that I'm trying to put right now. The operation of intent. A lot of people think what I'm doing is crazy, absurd. Like, nah, like I'm trying to operate the power of intent, right? I ain't trying to manipulate the power of money. I ain't trying to manipulate people's, sacral chakra. We already tested all of those powers. You already know what cohort of the heart is. You already know, but how do you test, right? You have to spend a period of time putting good intentions on one another, putting good intentions on people around you, so on and so forth, right? So once I come to the realization that the people that are around me, they're not trying to operate like that, I'll separate myself from the people. And it don't matter how connected I am to that person, it doesn't matter how long I knew you, anything. Once I come to the realization, like, damn, you don't got no good intentions for people. I don't want to be around you no more after that because your intentions are not pure. So 9 times out of 10, the human experience is already there. Like you having this human experience, going through these things, whether it be smoking, drinking, whatever it I don't care about none of that stuff, right? All the things that you experience as a human, that is part of sharing human experience, right? But when you're talking about intent, at least let your intentions be true. At least let your intentions be pure. Now, bad thoughts. You might have to fight, but at least be like, you know what? I wish them the best. You know what I mean? A lot of people are out here just pushing like, you can't tell me I can't hate this person. You people fighting hate so tough that when somebody come along and say, hey man, just let it go, just in order to love, you got to let it go. Don't tell me to let it go. Da 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 da. Because the trauma, they're attached to the trauma of it, you know? So it's like, I can't tell people how to let go trauma. I can't tell people how to, just keep on thinking about a better day, no matter what you're going through, I can't tell people that because nobody knows the next person's boundaries or how much is going to take to break them or so on and so forth. So I know within inside myself that I endure what needs to be endured for the greater good of whatever it is, right? Some of us come from houses of hand-me-downs. Some of us come from, group homes, so on and so forth. It's a lot of indigos out there that's been adopted into a family. It's a lot of star seeds out there that's been adopted into a family, so on and so forth. But they're making it difficult for us to reach each other. The internet became a good thing because we was able to find like-minded people on the internet, but then the internet also came with so many compilations that a lot of introverts was like, man, I can't do it no more because you reach out, and you run into all these false lights, all these falsitries. So then it starts getting tough. It becomes like, oh man, another person played me, another person did this. I know a lot of people that's on their walk. Look at the guy who started walking from Philly to California, right? People, hated on him so bad they hit him with a car. They hit him with a car. And he was on his walk, right? And a lot of people, in this world practice that mindset. It is the hateful mentality. Like if they see you growing, if they see you building, they'll put hate on it. Now, it's one thing to speak out about something that you dislike or speak out about something not right, but it's another thing to sit there and put the hate there. That's where we get trapped at. We get trapped in that hate, that dislike with a passion, right? So we get stuck with that. But it's getting better though. It's getting better. Like we as a collective are getting better. I promise you. We getting better as a collective. We're growing into this knowledge or letting this knowledge grow on us, however we look at it. You know, however we look at it, we're growing into this knowledge. You know, we're coming out of the reptilian part of the brain and we're getting into those higher parts, you know? So it's a journey. It's a journey, but we all here for it, you know? Even the manipulation of these Lee lines, the manipulation of these Lee lines and all of this stuff, all of this knowledge is coming out. So we just gotta be patient at this point. At this point, all we gotta do is be patient. That's why I say if they told us about the 72 demons of the soul of man, then they should have told us about the 72 angels of the soul of man. You know what I mean? They should have told us about the 72 angels of the soul of man and how they move, you know? In the Bible, they said they was moving up and down the ladder. Bible say they moved up and down Jacob's ladder, right? Now they just want to try to tell you about the demon, like 72 demons of Saul, the soul of man. Baal being one of the lead demons. Now they just want to tell you about that, like about the 72 demons of the soul of man. Like, but do you know about the 72 angels of the soul of man? Huh? Can we talk about them? Because that's duality right there. Duality, we say we practice duality, as above, so below. Ain't that y'all method?
Speak to my speak to my soul. Speak to my soul. Speak to my soul. Wake up to the wake up. Time for the wake up. Everything's changing. There's a real wake up. It's the right way. Go back. Listen. Truth being told, it's gold live. The brand new sky is something you can't deny. This is the reason why. Ooh, my soul's on fire. It's like a moving. My soul's on fire. Ooh, on fire. Turn up, it's getting hot.
Randy, I want you to think about what you're saying before you start spamming the comment section, right? The idea of going around pushing people into fear, you need to repent. That's a deflection. You're trying to project onto me what you need to go do. You go repent. You don't know if I repented. You don't know nothing about me, so therefore you don't even know the choices or what I have done, made, none of that, right? So the idea of what you're typing in the comment section has to be based off of you. You need to go journey inside yourself and go repent and do all of that stuff. You can't say what the next person did or done or any of that. And you're going around telling everybody to repent, repent, repent. Are you in fear? Are you in fear? Did Jesus not say all things he can do, we can do, and more? Did he not say that? Did he not tell you not to be in fear? Right? So come out of that fearful state of being. All right, Randy? And stop spamming a bunch of crazy stuff in the comment section. Chill out.
Burn up, we're being told the past, future, in the now. You'll understand if you allow Mr. Wilder to you. He's gonna take that walk with you. He can give you the notes, let your spirit reply.
You feel wise.
Souls on fire. On fire. It's like the wind moving apart. My soul's on fire. On fire. Mr. Wise, can you say it again? Louder for the ones in the back. Mr. Wise, can you play it again?
You keep my soul on track.
Can you say this again?
Speak
From the beginning to the very end. My spirit grow.
to my soul, speak to my soul, speak to my soul, speak to my soul. Speak to my soul, speak to my soul.
Speak to my soul, speak. My soul's on fire.
See, one thing we don't run from over here is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. I know I said one thing and named three, but that's the whole point, right? 'Cause all of that, listen, that gonna come with love. All of that is gonna come with love, an unconditional kind of love, huh? You know, that kind of love that they say, you know, only a mother could love. The real moms of this planet, the ones who know, that they're mothers and they birth nations. Those women are starting to wake up. They're starting to realize something is, awakening in their DNA, and they're starting to realize the nations that they brought forth and the nations that they are to bring forth. So you see a lot more women that are, getting their body in shape, taking that vegan route, you know, even like once they stop eating stuff like that and their whole blood cycle change, they're gonna realize like, damn, their period's gonna slow down, everything. They're gonna be like, what the hell? Because you're not putting, those things that are unalived in you no more. You're starting to eat things that are of life. That you know what I mean? So you'll start having a different notion for life, you know? That Nordic way of being, it comes from the mindset of, you know, a whole different persona. But a lot of people are coming into a new understanding of themselves to where as though their minds are changing, you know what I mean? What are you talking about? You don't even understand. And I got a job. I make great money. Why are you worried about that? Why are you worried about if I got a job or if I'm this or that? Like, why are you worried about that? Why are you worried about that? That's what I don't get. That's the I make great money. Look at me. I'm monetized on YouTube. I'm making money from that, right? I got a store that's selling, little clothes and stuff, I'm making money off of that. Here's a little bit of the money that I'm making online. My TikTok page is doing decent. I'm making money on that, right? So why are you worried about, what job somebody working? Ain't that's what I'm saying. Like, what the heck? It doesn't even make sense. Like that you're going around telling people to get a job. Like, so you just see black people and you say get a job. That's what you're doing. That's like a racial profile thing. Or because you ain't going around on YT people page and telling them to get a job. You ain't going around on their pages telling them to get a job. But as soon as you see a black person, you say get a job, right? Then the next thing you probably say is, you know, for me to find out who my dad is, or some other stereotype that they put on black people. Because the concept of you thinking that I don't have a job would only have to be based off of the color of my skin. Would you like to rebuttal that? Or did you already move to the next black person page that you got to tell to get a job? Well, I guess they moved to the next black person page that they got to tell to get a job. What? So talk mess on YouTube instead of getting a job. It's the oxymoron of it. I ain't gonna put that in my brain. I ain't gonna put that in my brain to try to write.
Oh, fire.
Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. Great things is happening whether y'all wanted to or not. Okay? All right.
Welcome to IT. What's it gonna be? Oh, I'm thinking we can serve your tea hot. We can make it ice cold. We can put it in a shot.
I'm trying to find like a good time slot to start like really classes. And once I put it all together, then, you know, I mean, that's probably why they saying get a job. They're reminding themselves that they got to get a job. You know what I mean? As they scroll the internet, they're reminding themselves they got to get a job. They're like, man, I got to get a job, get a job, get a job. So they spamming it in the comment section. You know what I mean? Get a job, get a job. They reminding themselves. You know what I'm saying? They just reminding themselves.
Searching for the higher power, looking for the real thing. By the day and by the hour, to the source I'm gonna cling. If you call, he's going to answer. If you want, he's gonna show. No, I'm not just some believer. This is something that I know. If you knock, he's going to answer. If you ask, he's gonna show. Cause he's not just some creator. It's unconditional. It's a la, 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 it's a love. It's unconditional. It's a la, la, it's a love. It's unconditional. We don't need a good.
It's hard out here. You got to work on yourself.
Walk off king.
It's a tough thing.
In this world, I'm just a foster. Truth is what I'm here to bring. Cause if you call, he's going to answer. Trust that he's gonna.
That's why I say, like,
Not just some believer. This is something
I just know for sure, like, the knowledge got to be put back. That's all I know.
He's not just.
All I know is we have to put back all of this knowledge. If you see something on the screen and you want to ask about it, just type it in the comment section, and I'll give you, you know, what I know about it. But you're gonna have to know the depths of this. If you look at the very bottom, it tells you love, light, you know, one infinite creator. Like, all this knowledge is coming in. They know. They've been testing those solar flares that's been going on. They know it's changing our, you know, mindset and everything we're doing to the human body. They know. And some people wrote, you know, books about it, you know, solar synthesis, how the light is changing, the spectrum of the rainbow is coming in, you know, all of this stuff. The light that comes in through the spectrum, understanding all of this stuff, all of that. Even the DNA activation. DNA activation, fire codes, fire letters in your DNA, awakening different variations of other strands of DNA. That's taking place, you know. Astral traveling, that's happening right now too. A lot of people are in the astral planes and going even higher than the astral planes. Some people are stuck in the astral planes, you know. Yeah, lucid dreaming. You see that over here? Lucid dreaming. Yeah, that's happening right now too. Channeling, right? Past life regressions, right? That's happening right now too. A lot of people in their minds starting to remember past life selves, you know what I mean? So on and so forth. This stuff is coming back. this stuff is coming back, you know. But that's why I keep on trying to explain to people about the etheric body. Keep on trying to explain. Sorry about that yawn. I keep on trying to explain to people about the etheric body and what's around that. We have our physical body, and then we have a field that's around us. You know, it is the etheric of what is. Like we can expand it. It's within like a 6 to 8 is. That's probably why they told us to be 6 to 8 feet away from each other. But you know, this is happening when you are aware of your etheric, body. When you're aware of your etheric body, when you come in contact or when you get into range of people, they too are either aware of your etheric body or you are aware of theirs. You know what I mean? Or gone. I don't even know that one. Let me see. Okay. That is a universal life force energy. So it is an energy. I think it would, if you look it up under an energy. Yeah, it's a natural energy that is said to be in all things, right? So if you look it up, under energy. So like when they talk about like I guess it would be another form of like a chi life force, like a chi life force energy, you know? Like when they say like that chi life force energy, so it'd be like that. Like it'd be a chi life force energy, you know? Hello, hello, hello. Grand Rising, Grand Rising. I don't know why I keep yawning. I had some coffee already. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Okay, so this energy is something it can improve stamina, better sleep quality, reduce sensitive to EMF or stress, sex drive increase, lowers anxiety, mood boosters, um, promote the well-being of plants, so on and so forth. It has numerous different variations of properties. But if you look it up under energy. Like all of these things is like, different forms of uh stuff like that. Like spirit guides and all of that stuff is like natural healing, holistic healing, all of that stuff. This is where you're going to find all of that at. Ouch. Mm, I'm telling you, like, I love knowledge. I love it. I love it. You know, searching for it, looking it up. I think, shoot, everybody should study it. You know, I could take something off this page, go find out everything you can about it, and then we'll meet back here, same bat time, same bat place, and discuss what we found. You know what I'm saying? What's what's up? How about everybody take a word and we meet in the Discord and tell us what we found in the Discord, post it in the Discord what you found. I'm telling you, I'm telling you. We gotta just pick one word off of here and then go study it. Look it up, study it, and then post it in the Discord what you found. I think that's a great idea. That expands people's mind a little. Just get you to thinking of some other stuff, you know? I think if we like leave it to this simplification of the world, like where we just keep on fighting, arguing, fighting, arguing, fighting, arguing, like that's a Mars mindset if you ask me. Like it's the Mars effect. That's what I feel like that is. I feel like that's a Mars effect, you know? Grand Rising. Namaste, Ashe, salutation, shalom, peace. Hope all is well. I feel like, this repeated thing, it's a Mars effect. If you get into some depths of things, then we get better. In the meantime, in between time, listen, we just got to continue to do everything in our power to be at peace with one another. Work out.
Said what I said, better clock it, clock it. Stay on the topic, clock it. No edit, no debit, deposit, clock it. 10 toes down, tenfold, no swap. Clock. I said what I said, better clock it. Barcode stamp on the docket.
I like that beat.
When I lock in, whole room gon' clock it. Stand on the statement, planted and blatant. Granted and standards, panic, contagious, demanding the payment, handed the greatness. Candid and dangerous, branding's outrageous. I face cadence, second hand tension, pressure, compressing the lessons. I'm flexing, weaponized, rhetoric, definite presence. No skeptics, I set the direction, say less. I press lines, measure the mental, centered and cemented, sentence relentless. Entered the session, blended and blended, mended the metric, blended the endless. No backspin tactics, no captions, fact check, traction, exact with action, stack that passion. Back belt, rap the snap track, crack, and this impact lasting. I said what I said, better clock. It's so heavy on the top. No edit, no debit, deposit. Clock it, 10 toes down, tenfold, no swap. Clock it. I said what I said, better clock it. Barcode stamped on the docket. Clock it, rocks on set in the socket. Clock it. No lock in, whole room going. Prime time and climb by climb. I'm wide eyed, design divine in it. Line by line, I line my rhyme. Spine stays solid, no sign of sliding. Grind or minimal limits, I pivot with emphasis. Dividends, critical sentences. Riddle them, hit them with literal genesis. No fold, no flinch, no fracture phase. Cold in the cold, no waves. Cold in the grass, capture rage. Cold in the mold, master base. One take, wonder. Flow free train, great, great, whole plane, no break statement. Say what I said, ain't shake that number. I said what I said, better clock it. Don't cut it, don't cut, some can't block it. Don't stack, quote, can't crop it. Then, I said what I said what. Yeah, better clock it. It's so heavy on the topic. Clock it, no head, was it clock it? 10 toes down, tenfold, no swap it, clock it. I said what I said, better clock it. Barcode stamp on the docket, clock it. Rocks on set in the socket, clock it. When I lock in, the whole room gon' rock it. No stare, both flare, no fear, motion, low ear coasting, no ear focus, go tear quotes.
You know somebody want that song right there. You know somebody want that song. And somebody listen to that right there. You know somebody like, yo, I like that hook. Let me get that. Let me get that hook. Let me get that hook right there. I said what I said, now clock it. You know they want that hook right there.
Rotate flow, that showtime focus. Stand tall, can't stall my stance. And my lines don't cross my dance. Headline mind, advance my plans. Deadline grind, enhance my brand. Say it clear, no static tone, gravitone bars. That's granite stone. Carry my weight, no chaperone. Heavy's the head with the crown I own. No bluff in the cuff, I'm cut precise. Yeah. Rush get crushed when the pressure rise. Yeah. Hush when I touch that mic device. Yeah. Clutch with the vice, that's checkmate twice. A low voice, voice choice, that's quiet command. No noise, just poise, I tighten the plan. Close range focus, I guide with the hand. Whole game, notice when I rise and expand. This steel spine posture, composure, lock. Yeah, no need to boast when the aura talks. Yeah, slow walk. So sharp presence, the door stage watched, and you can feel that shift when the tempo bend. Center of the room, that's where I stand. Never fold under pressure or trend. I set the tone, they echo again. Yeah. Lower your tone when you speak my name. Slow down, baby, don't play that game. I don't chase, I replace, maintain. Step out of line, I realign your frame. Easy now. Come closer, behave. You like how I dominate space. Soft touch, firm grips at the pace. Smile sweet while I put you in your place and whisper low. You know I don't repeat. Stand tall, but you melt when we meet. Say what I said and take that seat. Pocket, baby, that's elite. That's a look, yeah. Say what I said. Whole room froze when I rock it. Like, no rewrite, no crop. Like, then my flag, I can't stop it. Like, I said what I said. Take us talk it, but I can't like it. Work on steel, but still no like it. I said when I'm rocking home.
Do, do, do. Yo, listen, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, the world is changing around us. Y'all might not want to believe that the world is changing, but the world is changing around us. Now, You only got two options. Okay? You either, get with it, or sometimes when a wave is going, you can get with it or you can get plumbled over by it. I would like to, get above this wave, you know, get a higher understanding, you know, just for all intents and purposes, you know, bring us to a higher level of vibrational frequency of understanding. And then, but right now, I get it, man. The way they got the internet, you only gonna reach a small collective with this knowledge because they're not pushing it out there. So when you got like groups that's already knew that this knowledge was going to be put in our minds, and they set to, reverse this or reverse that, and put us in chaos, like they worked hard to, you know what I mean, keep us in this ideal of this world. They worked hard to keep us in this. So they still got to continue to use fear. They still got to continue to, do those things, manipulate with fear and variations of it. You know, all of these things they still got to do. So how they manipulate fear right now, all of that stuff, that's what's happening. Like they just doing it at a higher level now because they know that energy is depleted. It's really that energy is really depleted. We can't operate on that energy no more in this new era. So they trying to figure out like why they can't use, negative energy anymore. You know what I mean? So they trying to so they putting more easier back then to manipulate that energy. I mean, hell, if you wanted the Lee lines in San Francisco to have that negative absorption of energy, all you had to do was make, San Francisco win or lose a football game. You know what I mean? So it's like when they knew how to manipulate the Lee lines and stuff like that, then they were, moving this energy around and using this energy through different variations of people. Like when we go into like, think about it, like eh, uh uh someone who does the news for, weather, they'll tell you like when they do the weather, they telling you like a certain percentage of this area is going to see rain and a certain percentage is not, right? So you thinking, okay, that means, we have a 60% chance of rain. No, area that 60% of the people in this area see rain and 40% is not going to see rain. We thinking that it's telling us it's a 60% chance of rain today. Mm-mm. It's telling you 60% of them people in that area is going to see rain today. Think about that. I mean, those weather balloons has to be in more connection with the consciousness to go up there and measure that. You're measuring how many people in an area is going to see rain and how many people is not going to see rain. And you thinking there's a 60% chance of rain in the personal. But then again, that's why they have, different variations of astro projecting, so on and so forth. Because when you start rising above, you know, these are different variations of things that are in those brackets. It's like, we're all knowledgeable. Just some people might be knowledgeable in that way, but we are all knowledgeable beings. We're just sharing a human experience. or multidimensional. And some people would like to trap us or keep us in their dimensional being, you know, in their, you know, and that's where the quantum consciousness theory comes in, how your brain connects to the universe, you know. That's what I keep on trying to explain to people. This is like through your sleep,
Mysteries of existence,
so on and so
you come to
forth.
the right place. This is a quite quantum
Let me see.
physics for answers, and what they found in the quantum realm is both strange and beautiful.
It's quantum
Mechanics,
consciousness.
a theory that describes the behavior of matter and energy at the smallest scales, operates on principles that seem to defy common sense. Can exist in multiple states simultaneously, a phenomenon called superposition. They can be instantly connected across vast distances through entanglement, and they can tunnel through barriers that should be impenetrable. For most,
That's what I keep on trying to explain to people. Quantum consciousness. And you mention this to people, and they're like, "I know that man, ain't no such thing as no consciousness." Da, 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 da. Like, what? And then you come to the realization, like, not everybody has an inner dialogue. You know, not everybody's down here having an inner dialogue. Some people are just repeating what's going on down here. They don't have repeating what's happening down here. You know, it's sad, but I'm telling you, that's what's happening. Like you thinking that you like watching individual beings, and no, they're just mimicking what is, whatever that currency exchange is, whatever that money, they throw that money in this direction, it's like a dog with a bone. Everybody's gonna follow where that money is going. It's Babylonian magic, right? So it's like if they throw money at Jordan, everybody's gonna be like, man, I gotta go get a pair of Jordans. You know what I mean? If they throw money at this, because it's the manipulation of money magic. So they have found different variations of ways to manipulate us, you know. They have found different variations of ways to manipulate us, for sure. So like that's where the rituals and rites come in, right? Once you know certain variations of rites and rituals, like you'll more, but you know, right now we gotta take what we can get. We gotta take what we can get right now because the world is like they like they got so many people out there fighting against certain variations of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Like it's hard to just pop out and be like, oh, okay, you know, can we talk about this? And no, no, what is you doing? That's blasphemous. Get out of here. They'll come for you. They will come for you. You hear me? They find out that you trying to put some knowledge and stuff out there, they gonna come for you. For sure, for sure. Huh? You know? That's just the reality of this. But what you gonna do? You know? What you gonna do? Life seems to be, you know, putting people in shambles at this point because nobody is really, you know, holding steady. We're not trying to be at peace with one another. We're not doing everything in our power to be at peace with one another. We're not trying to sit down and comb through this knowledge. You know, some people ain't even trying to understand this knowledge. They don't care. Like they don't care. But I like to think that we care over here at the Atlas Network. You know, once again, I want you to remember one's image of oneself should be greater than reality. If nobody not telling you that you great, then shame on them. I like to tell everybody around me that they great. At least like, listen, man, you don't know, people don't believe in you, whatever, and all it takes is for people to start believing in each other. That's all we really got to do is start believing in each other. Yeah, I'm a fuck up. Yeah, I'm gonna make mistakes. We all make mistakes. That's gonna be human. Somebody of their mistakes. That's our downfall. We try to keep reminding people of their mistakes, keep on trying to point out people's flaws, keep on trying to do all this. Nah, nah. We trip up, we get back up. Applaud me for my get up. You know what I mean? Not my fall down. But however people look at this, life keeps on moving forward. Life keeps on moving forward, and we got to move forward with it. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. If you be at peace with yourself, and then you'll be at peace with other people. A lot of people are not at peace with themselves. That's why they keep falling out with other people. You're not at peace with yourself. I get that. You know, not at peace with yourself. I get that. So, but for those who are trying to be at peace with themselves, the world is working with us. For the ones that's trying to be at peace with themselves, listen, the world is working with us. Okay? The universe got us, working with us here. So let's just continue moving forward with peace, understanding, and all of that great stuff. And if nobody told y'all that they love y'all, let me be the first, but not the last to tell you, I love you. All right? Let me be the first, but not the last to tell you that I love you. All right? Y'all have a great day. We're gonna see if morning time is gonna be the schedule that we stick to. We're gonna be, you know, Ralph in the morning.